Welcome back, 6:45 on this Saturday morning. And of course, the big story is, well, the snow. And as well as being very cold. Temperatures for the most part in the single digits and low teens in northwest Arkansas. Teens for much of the River Valley as well. Fort Smith and Poto sitting good at 21. But yeah, it is still very chilly with that snowfall. So from here on out through this morning, we're going to see light to moderate snow at times. You can see the heaviest bands are just off to the east there in the dark blue. A little bit there into Clarksville, seeing some more moderate snowfall as well as in Ozark. A little bit of a more moderate band there in central Washington County, just towards Johnson and Springdale. They'll continue to move from southwest to northeast. And then eastern Oklahoma right now, even the Fort Smith area, seeing pretty quiet conditions, maybe just a few flurries. Now off to the west, we're going to see a little bit of a break here. We're going to see one kind of final band here for this morning. It's going to be right in this area right here, just west of kind of LaFleur and Scott County. That'll move in. There'll be some decent moderate snow, but look at this gap here that we're going to see in central Oklahoma. That's going to be that break that's going to come in by noon, and then we'll see a little bit of a break, and then a second wave will come in for us later this evening into Sunday morning. So again, winter storm warning still in effect through Sunday afternoon. Heavy snow and some sleet at times is expected, especially with the second wave. We'll see some of that sleet really cut in, especially for areas along and south of I-40. So we'll show you what that looks like here on Futurecast. Again, right now it looks to be mainly snow. That mix not as far north as expected, but we are going to see the potential of some snow mixing in, or I should say some light to moderate snow picking back up later this evening. But for now, again, about noon, we'll see it kind of take a break, seeing a little bit of maybe light snow continuing on and off through the afternoon, but really it'll be probably the biggest break we'll see throughout the event, of course, minus when it ends. So that's what it looks like here through the first wave. And when it's all done, this is roughly what it looks like for totals. So 2 to 4 far southern areas there in southern LaFleur and Scott County, far northern areas in Benton and Carroll County 2 to 4, and then roughly 4 to 8 in the purple with a little bit of higher amounts along I-40. But again, it looks like totals are going to be probably more towards the lower end of that, about maybe 4 to 5, but maybe some isolated pockets of bursts closer to 8. So as we go through the rest of the evening here, we'll pick things back up here, and here's 9 o'clock. Starting to see some moderate snow picking up, and this is where northwest Arkansas, I think we'll see some heavier bands. Wherever the sleet and snow line lines up, that's usually where the heaviest snow is going to be. So it looks to be mainly in northwest Arkansas. So that'll continue through us here through the overnight hours into early Sunday. Seeing a lot of sleet mix in as well with areas along and south of I-40 and even north I-40 in the eastern River Valley. So that's what's going to make things a little bit even trickier with treatment of the roads. You're going to see that sleet kind of combined with the snow and with that ice kind of mixed in. It's going to make things very slick. That'll continue through early Sunday morning here, 6 a.m. And throughout the morning, light to moderate snowfall will continue for Sunday morning. And then by noon, we'll see things taper off. And I think for the most part, besides maybe a few light flakes flying, we'll be done for the snow for the rest of this event. So that was the first wave. That was the second wave you saw. So the second wave totals looks to be something like this. Along and north of I-40, including Fort Smith, about 5 to 8, but those closer to I-40 and even a little bit south, we'll see more sleet cut into that. A mixture of snow and sleet south of I-40 there with 3 to 5 inches expected. And we're still looking at somewhat of a grand total of about 5 to 9 south of I-40 there in the dark blue for LaFleur and Scott County, 9 to 14 elsewhere. But I will say, again, it's trending a little bit lower towards the 9 to 10 at this point for that purple, then maybe a little bit closer to 6 to 7. But again, still could see that second band move in this evening that does produce that heavier snowfall. Just to go along with the fact that we could also see maybe a little bit of light freezing rain. You're going to notice, especially in the dark red areas in southern LaFleur and Scott County, we could see some of that icing. So you add in some freezing rain with that sleet, I think it could be extra slick for our far southern counties. And of course, all on top of that, the cherry on top, it is going to be cold. Extreme cold warning in effect for the entire area through noon on Tuesday, so that has been extended. It was through Monday, but now it's through Tuesday because wind chills will be as low as 15 below, especially for Monday morning. But it's still going to be cold, really, all of this week, even well after the event is done. So you notice Monday morning, low of 5 below. That's where you can see wind chills as low as 15 below. But even Tuesday morning, we'll see low temperatures in the single digits and even some wind chills well below 0, closer to 10 below. Then once we get into later next week, things do dry out for us, but you do notice that highs, they're not going to really reach above normal, or I should say above freezing very much. Maybe Tuesday afternoon in northwest Arkansas, but that'd be very brief. And notice that for low temperatures in the low teens for the River Valley, upper single digits for northwest Arkansas. So this snow, whatever does fall, it's going to stick around for quite a while, not really be able to melt due to the sun just because of the cold, as well as even some cloud cover as well. Emily?